Freedom to move, freedom to stay, freedom to return to our homes one day. Freedom to move, freedom to stay, freedom to return to our homes one day. Freedom to move, freedom to stay, freedom to return to our homes one day. Freedom to move, freedom to stay, freedom to return to our homes one day.
All right, I'd like to say thank you everyone for coming out today. We're here today on the 1-year anniversary of the Lindsay hunger strike. I want to acknowledge that we're on unceded, unsurrendered Algonquin territory. I'm going to be doing a quick overview of what's happening. I also want to mention that under this library here is there is a detention center where migrants are held. It's been open since 1975. A lot of people are not aware that there's actually a detention center right underneath this library. Between 2008 and 2013, there was over 80,000 migrants who were detained in Canada. Canada has no limits on detentions. There's one individual right now that is at Lindsay Detention Center that's been held up to 10 years without a single charge, no charge whatsoever, and has been indefinitely detained.
Shame.
Yes, shame. The detention reviews that are placed are completely arbitrary. It's a 30-day, every 30 days to have a detention review. The detention review itself is a setup. What we're facing here essentially is families are getting torn apart. Families are sisters, brothers, cousins, aunts, uncles are all getting torn apart because the system has failed. The system is completely destroying people's lives. So end immigration detention, completely overhaul, as well as take away, not allowing migrants to be detained in maximum security detention, as well as having a limit of 90 days maximum in detention, or be released from detention instead of being stuck in detained for months and months and months, up to 10 years for some individuals. These are some of the demands that end immigration detention has. I also want to mention that in July, there was a union opinion that came in criticizing Canada for the immigration detention process. It's the first acknowledgement from the United Nations clearly stating that Canada is in direct violation of international law by holding individuals in detention for a long period of time without a set limit. There's other actions that have been taking place. There was monthly boycotts at Lindsay Detention. There's also from 2008 to 2013, we have numbers between 5% to 33%, depending on board members, are being holding individuals that have been detained. So, bottom line is that individuals are being detained, but yet, as from 2008, since Chris Alexander and Jason Kennedy have gone in power through the immigration ministers, people are being detained longer and longer and longer. I'm going to be playing a short audio of an individual that's in Lindsay Detention.
I'm calling to enlighten the world of the illegal practices by Canada Immigration Enforcement, CBSA. During the slavery, the slave masters form a group called the Slave Patrol. And when the black man has worked the whole day and he's taking a break, the Slave Patrol will come and shoot at him and kill him. This Slave Patrol group is now the police department and the immigration department. The slave trade has been abolished, but if you go to the jails, the most people you see in the immigration detentions are the black people. This is another way of slave trade. Where on this planet Earth did the Lord make any boundaries? And which of you, the CBSA officers, the Public Safety Minister, Mr. Stephen Brownlee, the Immigration Division members, and the Immigration Minister, Mr. Chris Alexander, can move the soil that we're standing on? Talk less of claiming it to be your own. You are not from here either. You migrate to Canada just like everyone else, except the Aboriginals. I'm a citizen of the world, so I can live anywhere in this world, and Canada is part of the world. The immigration is using the black people to run a big business. They keep us in jail as the jailbirds come and mark their roster every day to get their paycheck. That's how they've been programmed, and that's how the system works. We have precious wives and children out there crying every day for us. People are detained without charges, and there is no trial to prove our innocence. Some people are being detained for 10 years, a decade. So I'm trying to call the world to help us listen to our voices and help us, because something got to be done. We will prevail. This is Zikimens.
That was an individual that's in Lindsay detention currently. I'll be passing it over to another member of NOII Ottawa to demonstrate what's the next steps that we're doing here today.
Thanks, Steve. Hello everybody, thank you all for coming. Merci d'être venu aujourd'hui. So we are here today as school is starting for all kids in Canada and for the kids of migrants in detention to denounce these illegal detentions that criminalize migrants and separate families across Canada. We stand in solidarity with all those that have faced detention, that are in detention, and that will face detention. Our next action is we are going to ask everyone here to help us to finish off the section. We have empty pairs of shoes that haven't been worn in a while. These represent in piles there. Our plate, our abidi, a majasiri, e pussy, F Ferrari, G Muhammad, G Elliot, K Bailey, S Nagwa, S Frimpong, S Malcolm, N Adansi, A Zuckman, T Tulos, M Bugo. This name is around 7 years ago that he's in detention now. And finally, M Makuba, he's still in detention and it's been 10 years that he's detained. We can also finish putting shoes until we have a pile to dress.
For all the other people who
Everyone else just dump the rest.
we don't have the names for.
Yeah, for all the people that we don't have the names for, it's only the list that we had access to. We cannot access to all of them.
Overhaul the adjudication process. Give migrants fair and full access to legal aid, bail programs, and pro bono representation. Some of the prisoners are long-term detainees. People immigration enforcement cannot deport but will not release. Others have been designated as high security based on prior criminal history, but this can be as little as an arrest that has not led to a conviction. Some people have been in jail for over 7 years because Canada, unlike the US and UK, has no limit on how long someone can be held prior to deportation. We have to end immigration detention. End detention, end deportation, end detention, end deportation, end detention, end deportation, end detention, end deportation. Thank you.